So we have here to learn how to write expository prose employed at graduate level research and discourse-based projects. In other words, that's graduate data-driven information, expository information. So you're going to learn how to write clearly a literature review, but you're also going to learn how to approach, how to segment and break down different sections of a lit review and some other documents that you'll find helpful at the graduate level. You're also going to learn how to develop and defend a position in an evidence-based argument. We will talk about this when we discuss an introduction to argumentation and research. Essentially, all research in the academic realm is making some type of an argument and substantiating or justifying that argument with data, with evidence. And so that's one of the primary objectives. Number 3, to develop basic research skills applicable to the disciplines of professional sport. So it's going to teach you how to go through and to follow the process, to follow the prescriptive research process. It's not linear. There's a prescriptive, suggested way to follow this, but the process will always need to be tailored and adjusted as you go through the process. Number 4, to improve understanding of standard English grammar, context, and syntax. So you're going to learn how to brush up on all of those skills and then transition your writing from undergrad to graduate. It's a lot different in terms of expectation at the graduate level. Finally, to cultivate habits of close reading as well as critical and analytical evidence-based argumentation and logic. In other words, the course will teach you how to hone in on your critical and analytical thinking skills, how to become a clearer thinker, more analytical thinker, and to be able to thus transition your own ideas into writing in a clearer way. Methods we've discussed: online asynchronous content with individual collaborations with professor. We will have video lectures such as these that will be posted that you will view. There will be different types of videos posted, and then punctuated throughout the semester, we will meet to go over your research ideas, to flesh out your research interest, and to work on your writing one-on-one because truly that's what it takes, is to be able to spend time with someone who is a professional editor, who is a professional writer, to show you some of your writing nuances, some of the things that can be cleaned up, and what are the best ways and strategies by which you can begin to improve those research ideas and writing issues. Course schedule we've already mentioned, the course textbooks we've already mentioned, technology requirements. I won't demean your intelligence by reading all of this to you, but you need to make sure that you're able to download Microsoft Word. All students at Wingate are able to download the full version of the Microsoft Office suite via 365 through MyGate. I will post a video to show you how to do that. It is extremely important that you understand you have to have the full licensed version of Microsoft Word to submit assignments in this class. You cannot use Google Docs. You can't share docs with me. We're going to be working with actual file types that you will save. We'll be formatting documents. We'll be working with the minute various elements of tailoring documents to APA style. So you have to have the full version of Microsoft Word in order to do that. Adobe PDF, most devices already have that. If not, there's an easy download for it. And then, of course, all of the technological parameters that are required to access Canvas. As long as you have Canvas, as long as you have a decent internet connection whereby you can stream all of the content, you'll be fine. And of course, if you meet with me virtually, there will need to be some type of connection that will sustain a long enough meeting for us to go over your content. I do also want to point out that it's important to have a physical laptop or computer to use during this course. I've had students in the past try to use iPads and try to use, the Bluetooth keyboards and whatnot. When it comes to formatting your documents and making sure that all the elements are there and that everything is correct by APA standards, there's a lot of margin for error when you use tablets and those types of devices. So I encourage you to use a laptop, whether it be a Mac or PC, whatever. Try to get a laptop. Don't start the course under the assumption that you can probably use a tablet and it be easy. So I just want to make sure you all know that. If you need help with trying to secure a device, need to maybe rent one. If you don't have one, reach out to me and I can see what I can do to try to help you. Technology assistance, if you do have any issues, I've provided their information here. Most of our undergraduate students are already familiar with Bulldog Central here. This is think of it as customer support for you all, for all of your different needs. Graduate students can actually use this too when it comes to technology support. So if you're having issues downloading software, your computer crashes in the middle of the semester, anything like that, you can actually go here. And you can look at some database articles for how to handle certain technology issues. And you can also go here to submit a ticket at the bottom. So after you log in, you can scroll down here and there's an area where you can submit a ticket, so you can request, financial assistance to financial planning, technological assistance via information technology. So just know that this is here and it's a resource if you need to resolve any type of technical issues. The next section here you see is class decorum and netiquette. You are all adults at this point, so I'm not going to spend a large amount of time on this. It's just important to note that because we're all learning together, it's important that everyone feels comfortable, safe. It's important that we maintain an inclusive environment. We're going to be exchanging ideas and opinions that are vastly different. We're going to engage in conversations in which we share differing opinions and opposing viewpoints. So it's very important that the expectation is we remain professional, we remain open to the reality that there's going to be difference of opinion in many of our conversations as you work with other colleagues in peer review sessions, but also with me. And so just know that that is a very stringent expectation of this course. And as you work with each other, if there are any personal issues, any type of disruptive behavior, anything like that may arise, just know that it's not taken lightly. It'll be reported to the honor board here on campus and possibly the MASM department chair and dean if there are any issues that persist after warnings are made. So that's all I'm going to say about that. One thing that is important to note is the section about netiquette. Netiquette is defined as the rules of etiquette that apply when utilizing computer-mediated communication. And so that is inclusive of text, email, virtual meetings, chatting in a Zoom meeting, how you communicate in a Zoom meeting, how you write your emails. I found it necessary to point out that you really need to pay attention to every single word that you're communicating, how you're communicating your ideas in all of your emails and all of your communication via computer-mediated communication. It's very important. So one of my standing rules is that if you send me an email that says something along the lines of, hey, you, or an email that does not have a subject, salutation, body, and closing statement in the email, I'm just going to delete it. This is a writing class. This is a graduate level course. So the expectation is that you have enough respect for this course, for academics, and for this process enough to be able to draft a formal email with all of the standing requirements and to engage in best practices when it comes to professionalism, making sure that you're referring to someone by their appropriate title, that you're not calling your professor, hey, you, that you're not sending emails that do not have all of the standard components. And this also has to do with how you communicate with one another. It's important as you exchange emails and arrange schedules to be able to meet and to make peer review sessions and what have you, that you remain professional in that communication as well. Respect for diversity. It's important that students from all diverse backgrounds and perspectives be well served by this course. The idea is that we're all going to be exchanging ideas, that this is an inclusive environment in which we feel we can share ideas to any extent, as long as we maintain the policy here for class decorum and etiquette. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the course evaluation. So in other words, this is academic policies and grading. Attendance, as mentioned, this course is mostly online asynchronous. The attendance is gauged by the completion of assignments within each module. And so it's important to note that the way this class is designed is that every single assignment is scaffolded or built onto the next. And so the skills are designed to build. You're going to gradually learn more about the research process. You're going to gradually learn more about how to improve your writing, gradually flesh out and develop your research interest as you go through the class. So you can't miss a module and expect to be on par where you should be in pursuit of an A or B grade in the class. So it's important that you complete all modules as they're posted by the applicable deadlines. And you have to complete all aspects of every single module. So that's how attendance is determined. There's no actual grade item that measures attendance, but just know that if you don't complete the module content, your grade will be impacted in a big way. The course evaluation or the grading, very simple. There are three overall components of the grade. So there's the critical analysis, 35% of the total cumulative course grade. This is the very first analysis you will write. This will be the halfway point to the lit review, as I've already mentioned. So this will be your very first attempt at putting together a graduate level research project, your very first attempt at presenting your arguments or your main claims for whichever argument and whichever research domain you will be pursuing. And so I like to do it this way because it's a good opportunity for us to work on your writing, get your writing where it should be, get your main ideas and your main claims focused enough, narrowed enough, and on paper. And then what we do is take that idea and take that content, and then we flesh it out through the remainder of the course to the final lit review. That is the major component of the grade, comprising 45% of the cumulative course grade. The final lit review is the final product of this course. It's the final major paper that you will draft. It will be a large-scale research project that you will spend time working on throughout the entirety of the course, through multiple meetings, multiple peer review sessions, hours in the library, hours conducting research on your own. And so this is going to be the amalgamation of the course, if you will. All of the skills, everything that you learn, all the course objectives will be showcased by what you put together as this final lit review. Finally, 20% of the grade are going to be daily and weekly assignments. So these are all of the miscellaneous varying assignments that you'll find in weekly modules. So any other side assignments, reading quizzes, peer review sessions, anything that does not fall under the critical analysis and the final lit review will be considered daily and weekly assignments, and that comprises 20% of the cumulative grade. The grading is very simple, and one thing that's important to note is the implication that the majority of your course grade here is going to be based off of your research. So it's really important that you, from the start or onset of the course, choose a research interest or problem that's not only feasible, that's doable, but something that you're very interested in and that you want to spend copious amounts of time working with. Because as you can see, 80% of your course grade will be doing just that, focusing on just this specific research interest or phenomenon. Grading scale is the standard grading scale. 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70, 79 C, 65, 69 is a D. Anything below is an F. It's important to understand that in terms of graduate level credit, in terms of the MASM program, you can only have one C applied to graduation requirements, so you won't be able to make C's in your program. So anything below a C, D, or F is considered failing or grades that are subject to dismissal. So if you earn a D or an F, then you won't remain in the MASM program. You'll be academically dismissed at that point. Undergrad students, this is going to be factored into your undergrad GPA, just the same as any other course would. And so the long and short of it is you want to aim for an A or a B in this course to ensure that you're learning the skills and the essentials that you need to be successful, whether you continue in the MASM program here, in grad school here, or elsewhere.